What's up, night crew? Are you as tired as I am right now?
Wake up!
I'll be fine. Welcome to, I can't remember the name of my own panel. Jeez. Crappypasta, thank you. Too spook or not too spooky? That is the question. So, the reason this panel is 18 plus is that when I do this as an all ages panel, I have to censor some things. I have to leave 1 or 2 stories out. But this is 18 plus, so I don't have to give a fuck! Now, you're not going to understand right away why this is 18 plus until we get to one story and then I'll go, oh, that's why. But let's do a little warm up with a little story called, and by the way, caps lock is always yelling, World is Punishment! And there's an emote in the title, but I don't know how to read that. So. Why did I do? Why, Max? Why? I am one of you! I am a creepypasta! I am just punished! I'm like Jeff the Killer, I'm like the Rake, I'm bloodthirsty, this cell, the desperate can't take it, no one can, no one even Slender himself. Why? I am like you, let me out all again when I was attacked by a Fae. He killed me, but I did get a second chance. He killed my wife, my children. He took my wallet, got my passport, but I got revenge every night. I would go to Heat Streets, search for those who commit crimes, kill them, eat them alive, perhaps they don't know. There is punishment! World is punishment. I would do things to them that I'm not happy. By the way, this is a wall of text. This is really hard to read. Drive them alive or dead, take out their flesh, blood, inside, tear them, but one day it happened. I saw Jeff the Killer, he closed his eyes. He was stalking his next victim, a young 15-year-old girl I couldn't let them have without punishment after all. World is punishment! Jeff followed her home. So did I follow Jeff? He didn't notice. I guess it's easy to not get noticed with my body, but I will tell you what I am in the end, so hold with me. There is not a single period in this whole story. I was saying Jeff stalked the girl. He waited until she fell asleep, which was at 12:20 on a hot summer night. He said to himself, I will do it old school way. Didn't I mention I can read people's thoughts? I'm happy with that. Jeff did wait till she woke up. When she did, she saw him, that white ugly face. I hate him. He said, go to sleep. Before he finished, I staked him with my fangs. He was shocked. When he turned, he saw me. He said, why? Why are you doing this, Shadow Shade? I thought we were, I replayed in anger. You son of pitch! You're stalking a young lady, you can't do that. I might be a pasta, but I'm still human, not unlike you, you animal. You lost your humanity, although you're a human. And I would turn my fangs, hearing that satisfying sound of blood, bleeding bones, crunching, mixing. I was so happy. The girl said, please don't kill me. Then I closed the window, I waved goodbye. She slept well. I wasn't done with Jeff. I dragged his barely alive body. He was crying. Jeff was crying. He's not supposed to cry. He then said to him, I'll never go to sleep. I'll never cry. Laughing and killing is my thing. I don't see that part of Jeff anymore. What I see is a winning kid. Winning. I reached that cabin when Slenderman saw Jeff. He was terrified. He stared at Mai with the emotionless face. He asked aggressively, what did happen? I terrified. He stared at Mai with the emotionless face. He asked aggressively, what happened? I said, Jeff was shot by a police cop. He did fight back, but then he did lose. He did lose the blood. He wanted Jeff couldn't speak because of the damage done to the jaw. Slenderman seemed to believe me, but when another creepypasta came, I was worried. I never saw him, and you might never have heard of him. His blonde hair is yellow like the summer fillets. His claws are pitch bulk, wearing his short sleeve clothes. I was sure he was, I don't know how to pronounce this, Max's Moose. He is the most terrifying thing to me. He came here because he does cinch lies, so there's no escaping from him. and he was visiting me when I was 5. He sitting at my window and sang, oh, I am not singing this. Can I rap it? Is that okay? Go to sleep, close your small little sweet eye. Go to sleep, and the monsters shall visit through the window, through the sea, through the land, moving freely, sleep tonight, so tomorrow is gonna be a good day. I liked the song, but as I grew up, he came less and less. One day he said to me, rule is punishment! If you harmed, you're unforgiven and you will pay. I knew he could read that idea, so I tried to stop thinking about the thing. I said the thing because I didn't want him to know he sensed my lie about the story that Jeff's bigots. He said, Shadow? I said, yes. He asked, what did the cop use as a weapon? I answered, shakiing, a knife, a sniper, and a rifle. Max's moose said, I will keep my eye on you. What did I need to finish this lie? I did wander into the street and I heard it guess who it was. 2 police officers knocking on a door. I approached them and when they saw me, they asked me to stand by. I did so, and they say and asked why. The officer said, the family that owns this house is trapped by Seed Eater. Who? He is trying to eat them, but the father is hiding upstairs. He locked the door with furniture. I said, stand back. They did so, but after a conversation, what I did do is I took off the hoodie. They saw, and they did know I am the Shadow Shade. They said, don't steal their youth, please. Don't. We will not tell anyone about you. I laughed and laughed. They got scared. One was Mexican. I can tell. Excuse me? I could tell by his long gooch. And the other is American. Well, I said, don't do that anymore. I help those in need. I kill those in feed. I broke down the door, breaking the furniture, and entered. I headed upstairs. Seed Eater, he asked for help. I power slammed him on the ground and won the title. No. And brought the police, pinned him on the ground. 1, 2, 3. And then I started taking out his limbs and bones. I was enjoying it. Like no other crime, killing those pastas. They killed so many, they have blood in and outside them. I liked them more. I knew that Slender is going to be the best meal after freeing the family. I quickly headed to Slenderman in the cabin. What did I do first? Easily. I did choke him. Does Slenderman breathe? He doesn't even have a mouth or a nose, does he? No. I quickly, okay.
Someone said he's a plant.
He's a plant. How do you strangle a plant?
You don't.
Put it in a glass case, I guess. He showed his tentacles. I ripped them one by one. He tried to run, but my claws had him pinned. I started keying him down, the injury, and we killed him. About to be killed by Smile Dog and Eyeless Jack, I did put my fangs through them like a baseball through. And I saw a young teenage that was about to be killed. And I asked the teenage if anyone else was here. She said, there was this winged man kind of man bring a knife. And I knew it was Mothman. Huh? Let me tell you about a Mary suit. No. I headed into the graveyard and I brought the teenage back to her parents. Sure, they were grateful, but when I returned, Max's moose was waiting for me there. He locked me into the cell with those other betrayers. I don't care. I was the most dangerous beasts. I know that I did do something right, and I'll do something right once I'm out of here. And remember, world is punishment for those who seek power and blood. They shall not be forgiven or have mercy on.
That was awful. Agreed.
It gets worse.
So bad, like it really hurts. So OP.
So, how about about we be a little bit constructive?
Constructive.
Yeah, let's do like some writing tips for this. Like, is anyone here like interested in writing creepypasta, crappypasta, trollpasta at all? No one? Okay, cool.
Wow. I used,
You are now. Awesome.
I used to be.
Well, I have a tip, which is like writing in third person perspective is okay, sometimes preferable. First person, however, you got to be careful with how you use it, because otherwise you can end up with stories like the face that looked at me through the window. Okay.
Is this one also?
Is this one also what?
Is this one also bad at punctuation?
Now, this one's actually better in punctuation, but it's dumber in other ways.
Yes.
And the music died. Fuck it, we're going. Okay. I think I'm safer now. I'm getting ahead of myself. You see, there's been this face just looking at me on this window, and it's creepying me out. I ran to my uncle's farm just outside of town, but I think the face might be coming after me. Has anyone else seen him? I heard something outside my window. I'll be right back. Time passes. So I checked out my window, and the face is looking at me. And my uncle died. So now I'm running to a convenience store with my laptop. Time passes again. Okay, I'm at the store, and the squeaky-voiced guy is at the counter. The body of the face is walking in. I'm assuming that the face is attached to it. He's slitting the store guy's throat. He's eating him alive. I'm gonna hide in the freezer. He's coming towards me. He's beginning to cut my legs off as I type this. He's beginning to hurt me badly. Dead.
I feel dumber now.
So brain cells have been lost.
It gets worse. Now, a quick question. Is there anyone here who likes to draw and would be willing to partake in an experiment?
Oh, God.
No, because I
He's a
suck.
champion. Let him do it.
You, sir? If you wouldn't mind coming toward the stage? What's your name, by the way?
Champion of Smash.
Champion of Smash. That's an excellent name.
Colossalcon champion creation. Get up there.
All right, so I am going to give you this piece of paper and a pencil. So this story is called Non Compos Mentis. And it's interestingly written. So there is a monster in this story. And you have to try and draw what the monster looks like, based upon what they describe it as. Are you up for the challenge?
Yeah, sure, why not?
If you want to take a seat, go ahead. This is also going to be a bit of linguistic gymnastics. So it was the breathing. It was the breathing that did it. I'll cue you when the description starts, okay? It was dark, of course, lying in bed next to my girlfriend. Not asleep, but she was. I listened to her breathe, soft and regular. Eyes closed, exhausted. Sink to sleep with the comfortable closeness, the familiar sound of sleeping breath. Maybe I dozed. Maybe not. But when I listened, there was no... This guy likes to add extra letters to words, so this is going to get a little hectic later on. There was no more breathing next to me. Different sound, like a cat eating. I looked over with my eyes. Slitted, tiny, unseeable, and there was a shape. Small, strange, sitting on my girlfriend's side. Moving. Maybe beating? I wanted to reach out to touch her, to feel another person, but something stopped me. Terrible. Terror. Darkness. Then came soft fluttering, and the shape moved like a moth with wings and landed with a soft tinking, quiet clanking of claws on the hollowed metal of the head board. Then to the floor. There was a light there, spilling from a street light outside the window. The amber light of city's night. I saw what it was. Another writing tip, don't put 22 S's at the end of words. Okay, here's where the description starts. And I'm only gonna read it once. A kid, human once, no more, but on its side, right ear down toward the ground, like a head sleeping things. Not who where thy belong, a gratuitous grin on the side mouth split, caps lock. So a new mouth of broken flesh and skull on the bottom, beside the nose temple to cheek, yellow teeth, gnashing, mashing, eating, hungry soft breaths. Did you get it? There's more, by the way. Beneath it, like feet, like legs, a spider with 10 legs, bony flesh were hands! Human hands, fingers splayed too long, clicking, twitching, walking, the wrists fused to the cheek. The eyes, one above the other, but pure white like a blind person. But dark pupils moving. Have you ever seen a chameleon's eyes move independent, like the hat? But it wasn't just that the eyes moved independently. When the pupils moved, the eyes weren't moving. Not rolling in the sockets, just pupils floating over white eyes, and it sees me, Jesus, fuck! Its nose, each sees, tongue slithers from new mouth. And I'm up and at it. Pillows, house a bag of cloth, to hand, lucky, and I scoop it up, hungry thing, and smash it against walls, smashes! It is so angry. Hungry, so hurting, shrieking! One man's voice. No, stop, no, what, help, smash! Then quiet. And Sauter in bag dropped on ground. No breathing, I sleep. Later, loud noise says, crashing door, open up, crash. Oh no, the second page went missing. We'll never know what happened. Wait, there it is. The police are there. Thank God. But there is no monster, just my girlfriend. Her remains little more than tattered rags of flesh that have been crushed and stomped beyond recognition. They are partly eaten, an empty pillowcase stained with blood, the only blood in the room. Her body is taken. Mine is too, but I still live in it. They have so many questions. I tell them what I saw, what I see, what had to die, and they have doctors talk to me. Am not mad, not sane, but not mad. A lawyer comes, tells me he is to defend me. I killed the hungry skull fingers twitch. Smash! I don't need defending. But the lawyer tells me a secret. The pillowcase, he says. The pillowcase, he says. The pillowcase, he says. The pillowcase, he says. Has no blood from her. No blood from me. No human blood. No known type of blood at all. Now I am very curious, what does this thing look like?
Drop big tits.
I think that's a flying type Pokemon. If you want to keep that, go right ahead. Thank you for volunteering.
No problem.
Thank you, Colossalcon. That'd be great.
So many different monsters.
Now, I'm not going to lie. only had one writing tip, and then I just gave up after that. So the tip after this one was just, what? For a story called Selfish Harold. This has my second favorite line in any Crappypasta, and it comes right at the end. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere lived Harold and his wife Lily. Lily was getting more and more ill as the days passed. Lily, how are you feeling today? Harold asked. I'm a doctor, Lily said. Okay, I'll go. Stay safe while I'm gone, Harold said, feeling bad. And with those words, Harold was off to find a doctor, only to find the doctor was the next town over. Harold boarded on a train. He found a seat in the back. He sat down. Hello, dearie. Mind if I sit by you? A smelly old lady asked. Why smelly? I'm sorry. There is no room, Harold said, lying. Oh, I see, the old lady said, and walked away. The train stopped in the next town, and Harold got off the train and headed for the doctor's office. Wow, I'm hungry. Maybe I should stop for some food, Harold said to himself. There looks like a good place to eat, Harold said, walking into a sandwich shop. He ordered a sandwich and left the shop. He sat on a bench while eating his sandwich, and he looked over to see a bony boy sitting next to him. Can I have a piece of your sandwich? The boy said. No, Harold said, eating his sandwich whole. Oh, damn. Man versus food over here. Harold stood up and went to the doctor's office. Harold waited 30 minutes and then finally got service. Harold, the doctor said. Will you help my wife? Harold said. Why? You didn't help me, the doctor said, morphing into the bony boy and the old smelly hag. What? Harold said, running out of the doctor's office. He hurried and jumped on the train and got home. He ran inside and up the stairs. Lily? He looked over at the bed. Oh, you're just asleep, Harold said. I'm going to take a bath and go to bed, Harold said, going into the bathroom. He got into the bath. The water is just right, Harold said before drifting off to sleep.
What is it?
In the tub. Harold awoke in the bath that was filled with a strange red liquid. Any guesses?
His wife's blood.
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
Oh my God, it's blood! Harold yelled, jumping out of the bath. Harold...
Get some juices. 18 plus. Juices.
I'm not going to think about it. He put his robe on and went to his bed. He then fell back asleep. He didn't even clean it off. Harold awoke. Lily? Harold called, but Lily was nowhere to be seen. And only then had Harold realized there never was a Lily. He never boarded a train. He never even went to see a doctor. And with all those thoughts filling his head, Harold opened the window and jumped. And when Harold awoke, he was dead.
I have so many questions.
Look, you have a lot of questions, and I have zero answers.
I think the answer is drugs.
Now,
What kind of analysts are you? Having zero answers.
I just talk into a microphone. That's all I do. Is there anyone who would like to group read something?
Sure.
I've tried it in a separate voice.
And what's your name? Yeah.
Chelsea.
Chelsea, come on up. Careful, this is a hot mic. We are going to read a little story called He Ate My Corn Dog. Do you want to narrate or just voice the character?
I will voice the character.
Okay, well, in that case, you're going to read everything that's underlined.
Sounds good.
Now, James, what made you commit such a heinous act of taking that man's life?
He ate my corn dog.
said James. Why did he eat it?
He ate my corn dog.
James repeated. The detective was getting nowhere with this and gave James a corn dog. Did the corn dog look like this?
He ate it. He ate it.
James said. It does look tasty, the detective replied, stomach rumbling. Can I have it back?
No!
Screamed James, standing up.
No, don't touch him. He's traumatized.
I want to eat him, Jimmy,
I have to protect my family!
James shouted loudly. You aren't a corn dog, James, said the detective wearily.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
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 Yes, I
No,
am.
you're not. No, you're... Turn page.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. And that's the bottom line. I am a corn dog.
Bellowed James as loud as he could, his voice cracking. So I can eat you?
Eat me.
Screamed James.
Eat me.
Listen to yourself, the detective replied.
If you want to eat Brian, you'll eat me too.
Who's Brian?
My brother.
The corn dog? The detective asked, starting to become pissed. The one I pulled out?
Yes, the corn dog.
Did you know we all have corn dogs inside of us, James? Asked the detective.
Yup.
Well, you're about to have another one in you, said the detective, unbuttoning his slacks.
Oh, the inhumanity.
Thank you.
No problem.
That took a 130-degree turn to the wrong location.
So, how about some linguistic gymnastics? Because we have...
As if that wasn't.
I wanted to include at least one that was either Sonic or Pokemon, and I went with Sonic. So,
Sonic anymore. I think it's Sonic.
so say, this is Rouge EXE. Hey, my name is Chris. Oh my God, there's no periods. Hey, my name is Christopher Williams. I am big fan of Rouge the Bat, and I about to make Rouge call her Dark Rouge EXE, a made by Gmod. I find a perfect picture to create. I got scared of her right now in ways she eat people. In shock, people blot out. She was white in Gary old picture, and her sister is White Rouge. She a powerful lady, she hurt people, I kill her to line is, I am Dark Rouge, and I go take your heart out, and White One, I am White Rouge, I will suck your soul out, she found. Knuckles in Knuckles turn head, and she got creepy smile, her face in sister to Venny about our powerful of Tour Darkness, I think I made her in Gmod on my computer. Exactly.
Hold up.
We can't stop. We got to stay on Rouge EXE's crazy ride.
There's no periods in this string.
And 2 is Amy Rose was walking with Sally Akron, Ohio? And they saw Dark Rouge and White Rouge. They were start walking to them. Amy and Sally run and scream loud. They stopped running. They saw Sonic EXE, and I said, Sonic, what he doing there? And said to them, you're too slow, and you cannot escape from them in Dark Rouge and White Rouge. Attacking them and eat them in Sonic, laughing, I said, go by Amy and Sally start. Laughing again, so me, I got so strays how they kill Amy and Sally that are good people. I said, why? Start cry and I tour off my computer. I see a dark light outside my windows and then he start a creepy smiley and bleed teeth and bloody pigs with black eye. One Dark Rouge eye is pitch black and red. They're about disappearing and I don't believe it. Never there. Start in horror stuff more. I start dreaming about them. Each dream is dark black and out there in Sonic 2 Center. They said,
Breathe back.
we are God now. And we are going to eat you in creepy Ben drowned behind me. I said, Ben, what you doing here? They all eat me. I woke up. I tore. I saw Dark Rouge in my bed. She never her in sister again.
What now? Take a break.
I need to read something with periods in it. I'm sorry. Since we're at an anime con, how about a Doraemon creepypasta?
Who's that?
Doraemon is like a very old anime with this cat that has no ears. When I say it like that, it sounds creepy, but it's a children's thing.
Oh.
And I actually have some advice for this. If you're not familiar with a foreign language, do not write in the foreign language. Google Translate is not supposed to be a co-author.
I think it's primary in some cases.
This is called Dofaimon. I am Nobita Nobi. I live in Kawasaki, Japan of the 1960s. I do really bad in tests and sports. I got a box from the girl I love, Shizuka. It came with a letter. Nobita-kun, this thing is eating me alive. It's some kind of robot. I'm writing this from the hospital. I'm temporarily vegetated, so I'm using Provo Quote to go on my iPad. In the 1960s? My mom's helping me write this. The box of the thing that eat me alive is in the box. Love you so much, Shizu-chan. Why would I open something that would make me vegetative? Remember that sentence. I wouldn't be so dumb. The box was a cardboard box, and the only writing on it was Dofaimon. This was creeping me out, but I opened it anyways.
Something's killing me. It's in the box.
After I opened it, I found out it was some kind of robotic cat that was blue and without ears. I fiddled about with its body anyways, trying to find the on switch. I pulled its tail and it turned on. It said, "Konnichiwa! Shukudai no tame ni nani o shita ga hitsuyo na no desu ka?" I'm sorry, I studied Japanese in college and this hurts. I said, "Do homework." And it turned to my desk and started writing negative things like, "Committing suicide is good," or "Fat people are idiots." Dramatic shift, but okay. 3 hours have passed and he is still writing negative things like, "Kill your teacher," and "Yo mama is fat." Why the fat people? I don't. In fact, he's nearly at the end of the jotter I was given by my teacher. I thought some random gibberish would work, so I said, "Watashi o kurosu." Now, does anyone know what that means?
Doesn't that mean kill me?
It's a very poorly written way to say, "kill me."
Yeah, it's
So-
like to kill me. It's more like you're saying,
You will kill me, sort of.
Yeah.
But then he repeated what I said. Again, he could have said anything, but he said, "kill me." Suddenly, out of a pocket on his body, he got a knife. He started stabbing me, right in the chest and then in the brain. I was screaming. I didn't know what to do. He kept stabbing me full force. I had to badly go pee. But then I couldn't make it in time. I wet myself. He drank all the pee that was in a small puddle and slashed my butt off. He cut all my... This demonic cat has weird priorities. The pee was stinging the remains of my limbs. By the time my mom got to the room, he was gone. She called the ambulance. Now I'm in a vegetative state myself and using Proloquo to go. In fact, I'm beside Shizuka in the children's hospital. I'm worse than Shizuka, and I will stay in this state forever. I have developed a lifetime disability due to him. He's on the loose, and I am offering a 1 billion yen reward to the one that can find this monster who has affected my life.
How much is 1 billion yen in US dollars?
Quick and dirty math, take off 2 zeros, and that's US dollars. So, yeah. 10 years later, I died a sad and peaceful death, and yet he has still not been found. He must have gone off to another poor country that has to experience the antics of this monster. His killing's a mystery. It's not really a mystery, is it?
It's not really.
And it's still waiting to be solved 40 years later. Clearly Detective Conan is on vacation or something. Oh no. Wait, how much time do we have left? Because I gotta make sure to read this shit pile.
There's no 25 minutes.
Oh, there's no panels after? Fuck it, alright. So,
You're so funny.
Oh, if I could, I would. So, we're getting into the reason that I eventually decided, maybe 18 plus would be better. So, I actually did write a writing tip for this one. World is a fuck, this is trash.
At least it's self-aware.
This is technically a three-parter, but I'm only reading the second two because the first one's just like a DeviantArt character profile. Say hello to Rose Sleepy Eyes. I, Rose, was driving to school. My parents tell me they brought lunch for me. I was happy. I walked to my class, 5th grade. And the kids there were Jane, Jeffrey, Natalie, Lou, Jeffrey's little brother, James, Josh, John, Jameson, Danaron, Gerhade, and Cleo. Whole cast of friends up in here.
How's a 5-year-old driving? 5th grader driving?
Yeah, how's a 5th grader driving a car? I'm assuming they drive with Power Wheels to school. I was friends with Jane, Jeffrey, Natalie, and Lou, but we never really liked Cleo. She tried to be cool all the time and wanted to be cool and tout she was friends with her. One time, she got in a fight with Jane, and I ran up and punched her, grabbed her by the neck, and punched her again. She grabbed a rock and chucked it at me and hit my hand and made my fingernails start to bleed. I pulled out a pencil and stabbed her in the gut. Things escalate quickly in this story.
Are you in 5th grade?
Yeah, 5th grade. The next day, Gerhade was getting on our nerves. He called Natalie a whore and made fun of me. Him... That's the straw that broke the camel's back. Her friends followed me to the bus, and when the bus stopped by my neighborhood, they came out with me. I was scared. I started running and tripped on a curb. They beat me up, and Gerhade tried to rape me. I cried when Jeff came out. He had a disturbing cut for a smile and had black eyes and a knife. I was scared, but I knew he would help me. He stabbed Gerhade while he was rapping me. It was all a dream. And I took his Sikhan knife and stabbed him until his body was all purple and blue. I took out his organs and dropped them off at his parents' doorstep. Damn, that is the most spiteful.
5th grade?
5th grade.
I think the writer forgot how it 5th grade was.
Well, we also saw a time-traveling iPad in the previous story, so all bets are off.
Maybe you're right, maybe the writer was in 5th grade.
They
Yeah.
left their Power Wheels at school, took the buses.
Me and Jeff had a plan to kill Cleo. I'm just waiting until they nuke the Earth. But it was revealed that she killed her family and she walked out of her house and ran at us. She stabbed Jeff in the neck, and I grabbed her by the neck, stabbed her eye, and stabbed her in the organs, and ripped out her tongue and made her swallow it. I'm numb to it now. It doesn't seem so bad. I pushed her in the gutter, and she screamed at the water, pulled her under the water, and made the water read. And eventually, there was a drop-off. She splattered. I went to Jeff crying, and he told me that he loved me. I said the same. He closed his eyes as we kissed. And then he died. I cried for days. 1 year later, Gerhade recovered while I was sleeping, and he came into my room. I sleep in only my underwear, as in location, and I felt something touching my private parts. I looked. It was Gerhade. He took his wiener and stuck it in my... I cried. Oh God, it's caps lock. Hold on. She came in and cracked his neck open. It was Jane. I stuck my thumbus in his eyes and twisted them and pulled the eyes out and fed them to him, disemboweled him, and Jane put him in a bag, lit it on fire, and burned it. Wait, lit it on fire and burned... Me and Jane fell in love. We grew up with each other, living on killing forever. So if you see a pair of 2 black eyes and 2 blue eyes, run and hope that we won't kill you. And apparently, happy Pride Month.
Gayness in there.
Now, there's a part 2 to this called Big Bertha, and I hate this. Sally was walking down the street, contemplating what Soul was going to do to get revenge for the death of her beloved brother who died from the hand of a serial killer, which was why she was walking down the street. The serial killer hanged in the area that Sally knew she hanged, which was why she was walking down the particular street she was walking down. She saw a shadow and pulled out a hammer when the serial killer, whose name was Rose, walked down to her. She swung at her, and Rose bled profusely. But she got up and attempted to gut Rose, but only got her kidney. Only the kidney. Rose ate it and spat it at her. Sally said, "Fuck you, you disgusting piece of shit," said Sally. "You don't know what the fuck I've been through," said Rose. Sally has a tragic past. Oh, now we're addressing this. Being traumatically raped many times on end by her father, he would drag her to the basement and torture her physically and sexually. Sally had no mom, as her father killed her, but she didn't know. She was raped thousands of times. You're trying way too hard to get sympathy for this character.
Berserk.
And her father would frequently burn her with hot irons.
Berserk.
He would break, as in on a car, bottles, and stick them in her vagina. One day, her brother figured this out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took thousands of times before he figured this out. He cut off the dad's finger. Oh yeah, that'll show him. While he was watching TV, he gouged his eyes out and made him swallow it.
That's better.
Almost there. He cut his balls off and stabbed him in the gut. Okay. Yeah, fair.
Keep going.
He took his intestine and choked the dad with it. Right on the brink of death, the dead stabbed him in the eye. Wait, I thought he already lost his... Anyway.
I socket.
Eye sockets. Is there some skull fuckery going on here? He grabbed his leg and took a switchblade to the dad's cranium. He opened it and pooped the cranium noodles all over the place. That's like something an angry game reviewer in like the early 2010s says. What a bunch of cranium noodles. He grabbed a liter and burned the dad. Oh, that's a lighter. And the house too. He took Sally, and they stayed at a motel from the money that they stole from Dad.
At least they explained how they had money for him.
Yes, there's a logical flow going on here. There will be another logical flow of a different kind later, but... One day, Sally's brother died tragically. He was found gutted and with his entrails in a bag at the old house's dorm step. His name was Gerard. Sally figured out that Gerard raped the serial killer and was murdered by her. I mean, who's the villain in this scenario?
All of them, except Sam.
Sally stabbed Rose in the neck. Rose took it out and threw it in Sally's eye. This is like Smash Brothers where you're throwing weapons back and forth. She screamed as Rose grabbed a wood plank and crushed her hands. Rose started to crack her head in, but Sally took out a hidden blade and stabbed Rose in the ankle. "I'm gonna drop it on you! Like I did with your brother! I will drop you on you like Big Bertha!" Rose said, as she bashed Sally's skull in. Brains and organs were on her stick, and she walked away. Sally woke up in a place with nothing but white. Her brother, Gerard, was there, and he walked over to Sally. They took off their clothes and began to have sex.
Oh my god!
He fucked her, and she sucked him off. And he took his seaman and rubbed it on Sally's boobs and licked it off.
Sally is 8, she don't have boobs!
5th grade.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
I said earlier that one of the other stories had my second favorite sentence in a creepypasta. This one's my favorite. She organismed. And they stayed in a white bed in purgatory forever.
I feel like I need bleach in my brain now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Maybe it's something stronger than bleach.
After
Good battery acid.
I need 6 shots after for each.
Now, let's end on on a more light-hearted note. With, actually, I want your guys' help choosing. First, I need a volunteer. Yes, your name?
Aria?
Aria, all right, come on up.
Hell yes.
Now, you have a choice here. Do you want to read, by the way, don't write Jeff the Killer stories. That's the lesson
Let's
here.
go.
So you have a choice between either Jeff the Killer versus Jeffrey the Killer, or Mark the Homicidal Killer versus Johnny the Butcher.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey the Killer is way too funny to me.
It's an original character.
Yeah, no.
Original, based off.
Okay, do you want to read more or less?
I'm good with more.
Oh, well, would you like to narrate and then also voice Jeffrey the Killer and all of his friends?
So, the whole thing?
Everything except what's in bold.
Okay, I can do that.
I hear regret.
Lord. Great.
And yes, this is an excuse for me to read less.
You've been doing it all night, you deserve it. Alright.
I'm sorry, I demand music for this one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Although my Bluetooth's not working, so I'm just gonna have to crank it.
Oh, by the way, I'm wearing color contacts, so I might not be super great at this.
I believe in you. When you're ready.
Oh, okay, I thought you were gonna hit the title. I got it, though. Alright.
Jeff the Killer versus Jeffrey the Killer. Ding dong went the door, and with that, a 14-year-old boy ran down the stairs of his home, jumped to the door, and opened it. And he did this thinking that it was his girlfriend. He started to say, "Hey, babe," but all he got to say was "hit" before getting his throat slashed open. He tried to let out a scream, but to his... He tried to let out a scream to his parents, but nothing came out. Then the boy got a good look at who had done that to him. It was Jeff the Killer, he finally said. Then Jeff saw that the boy was about the same age as when he had got hurt this bad. Still, Jeff tried to stay strong, powerful. That didn't help.
Look,
He said.
I'm not going to put you to sleep. Only
There was a pause for a couple of seconds. Then Jeff said,
only because I know what sympathy is, and I finally have the feeling of regret for something of my own doing.
with that, he took the boy by his legs and dragged him back to Jeff's old house where he stitched up the boy's throat. Jeff asked,
What's your name?
the boy replied with, "My name is Jeffrey. Why?" Jeff answered, now looking surprised.
My name is Jeffrey too. But really, even my parents used to just call me Jeff for short.
"Cool," said Jeffrey, now gagging for air. "What? Why do you look so glum and sad, regretful? I mean, you're Jeff the Killer, not a..." He didn't actually know what to say.
What?
Said Jeff. Next, with a sigh, Jeffrey said, "An average person," he finally let out. The caring expression on Jeff's face disappeared as it turned to a surprised, disappointed expression. Jeff's mouth dropped open wide and he started to cry. Jeffrey couldn't believe this. Jeff the Killer was crying. But Jeff wiped the tears away and said, actually calm,
Okay, I understand. But just get out of here now.
said Jeff, now breathing hard. Then Jeffrey slowly got up and walked out, not aware of what was going to happen with him and Jeff later. Alright, how am I gonna do this? Let me think of a good voice.
You want me to help you out?
I'm trying to remember.
What it sounds like. Okay. Did my mic just die?
I hope not. Okay, cool. "Dude, get on the ride, you sissy," said Jeffrey's friend Chris. "Okay, this time I agree with..." Oh, okay, we got another one.
Yeah, good luck.
"Okay, this time I agree with Chris. You're being a sissy," said Jeffrey's friend Christina. "Fine, I'll go on the ride." They were talking about the new ride at an amusement park they were at very late near its closing time. So naturally, Jeffrey went on it. It was $5 and it could make you throw up. So when he got on it, he saw another man coming. He paid, got on, and took off the hood on his coat that was surrounding his face. To Jeffrey's surprise, it was Jeff. Jeff inspected Jeffrey for a second and then said in a creepy voice,
Go to sleep for what you did.
Then Jeff screamed and jumped off the ride. Actually, to his surprise, he was fine, maybe a little dusty, but fine. He took both his friend Chris and his girlfriend Christina and told them that they needed to go now. They just stared at him, though. Jeffrey, seeing that
Page turn.
they were either amazed with what he had just done, or they were looking behind him with fear. And when he realized when he realized that was the case, he said, "Oh, come on, he did that too." Jeffrey ducked as he threw a knife, was aiming for his head. Then it hit his friend Chris. Motionless Chris fell and died almost instantaneously. Then Jeff grabbed Jeffrey's girlfriend and was about to slit her throat when Jeffrey screamed, "No!" and punched Jeff right in his nose and broke it. It fell on his face. Now Jeff nose less carved in his knife into Jeffrey and twisted it. Christina could tell that Jeffrey was in pain, so she kicked Jeff the killer, and he turned around this time, not hesitating to slide his knife into her throat. She fell and bled out in a matter of seconds. Then Jeff turned around to see Jeffrey on his knees, begging to live. Jeff saw him like he saw that one day at Jeffrey's house. Jeff's smile faded to a closed mouth with a carved smile in it. Jeff knew what he wanted to do, and also knew that he didn't want to do it anymore.
Okay.
Jeffrey said, crying, "Please, please let me live. I'm sorry for whatever I did to you. I swear I didn't mean it." Even though Jeff didn't want to kill him, he couldn't help but say,
Go to sleep.
Finally, Jeff lunged at Jeffrey and ended everything. And then also at the same time fell with Jeffrey because the man running the machine had called the police and they shot him. 3 years earlier, who is speaking? Some random dude.
Psych ward guy.
Okay, Jeff, we know that you came back to your body. Well, your soul came back to your body for a reason. What is that reason? Said the man running the psychic center.
Because I need to kill at least one more person if I'm going to rest.
Said Jeff. The man was cut off when he got impaled by a car. Not of Jeff's hands, but that really says car, doesn't it? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's a car.
Not of Jeff's hands, but another member's hands who had just escaped. The man gave him a thumbs up and drove away.
Well, if you insist on letting me out, hose can I resist? I do need to kill someone, don't I?
I'm still trying to comprehend how you can get impaled by an entire car.
I mean, if it's one of those older cars, or like the ones that do speed tests in the desert that come to a point,
No, that's very true.
I don't know why you'd be doing speed tests into a psych ward.
Maybe
but
it has a spine on it in the psych ward, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it could be like the
That was
jazz.
wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
So I am actually at the point where I am running out of stories. In fact, I think I actually am out. Damn. Well,
Just look on Wattpad, you'll find plenty.
you can't make me. Well,
Fair.
yes?
I believe you said we were ending on a more lighthearted note. What was that in that story?
Well, when the guy got impaled by the car, it split his heart in half and that made it lighter. Thank you all for coming, and go the hell to sleep at some point.